Hello, everyone. It's Thursday night, and I have with me the lovely and talented Kayla Wallace. Hi, Kayla.
Hello, thanks so much for having me.
Sure. This is a treat. I cannot wait to hear all about your new movie.
It's an exciting month. We have a lot coming up next month. So yeah, I'm
Hmm.
happy to be here and spill a few details and get everybody excited.
I know. Well, first of all, I'm like crazy about butterflies. I always have been. Like when I was a little girl, butterflies all over my house, in my bedroom, cake. They would make a cake, butterfly, butterfly. So I'm like, oh, I just love the name. And what a cool occupation to give someone, which I
Right?
thought is fresh and different. But before we dive in, let's just talk about the last few months that you have had. It's been pretty exciting, right?
Yeah, it's been a wild year. So I'm excited to for everything once everything's edited and gets out
Yeah.
there for everyone else to see it. But yeah, I've been super happy to be working on some cool projects, and a few of them will be out this year. So I'm excited.
I know. It's like the year of Kayla. It really is.
I don't know about that, but
Oh, come on. It is
but
for now.
yeah.
And then, of course, as years go on, you want it to get better and better. But I think this is like the best year yet, right?
Yes,
Now,
yeah, we'll say that.
before we talk about the movies part, I love your voice. And
Oh,
like,
thank
are you
you.
trained? Is this natural? Tell me. Tell me about your
Thank
singing, your
you.
beautiful singing, your playing.
Yeah, thanks. I've been singing since I was a kid. I got uh my very first thing I ever did was I played Linus in A Charlie Brown Christmas. And I remember I had to sing for the first time by myself, and that was a big deal. But yeah, I started pretty young, so I've been singing my whole life. I did some singing and piano lessons in high school, and then went on to musical theater where we're trained a little more classically, and I just keep it a part of my life all the time. I love it so much.
And you just pop on Instagram and I feel like you're just, oh, let me pop on. And you sit there and you do your song. And I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. I want you to sing one time in one of your movies or in When Calls the Heart. I want you to sing.
I would love that. I am crossing my fingers for a When Calls the Heart musical episode because everybody is so musical.
Yes.
I don't know if it'll ever happen, but it would be amazing.
There are a lot of us who wish for that. And one of the things that we always say is if we can't get it as a musical, why couldn't it be that Rosemary wants to put on like a talent show or a musical, right? And then
Yes,
everybody participates, and that's how you can sneak it in, right? Where
totally. I love it.
I'm going to tell everyone. I'm going to tell John Tinker, and I'm going to tell whoever else, Peter. I'll tell him. We'll get in his ear. We'll tell everybody.
Let's start a petition. I think we'd get enough people saying, let's do
We
it.
will.
So
We will. All right. Let's talk about your movie. So it's feeling butterflies. So tell me, just spill the beans. I'll just coax you on if I want to hear something else. Go ahead.
all right. Yeah, so it's a movie about butterflies, about feeling butterflies, which was a really exciting and intriguing part about it, actually getting to work with live butterflies. That was really cool. So it's about a butterfly sanctuary owner, Emily, and she gets the opportunity to do this big celebrity wedding. So she does birthday parties and different events where she does butterfly releases, which is an actual popular thing. I had no idea. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
gonna have a birthday party one year and release some butterflies into the world.
Oh,
So Emily owns her small business, and she's trying to make it big by getting the opportunity to do this big wedding, this big celebrity wedding. And she meets single dad Garrett, who
oh, I love the
helps
name.
her. Yeah, yeah, who helps her along. And they have some fun. There's lots of butterflies, and he's got a daughter who is just the sweetest little girl. Alyssa, who played her, is she is just so smart beyond her years. I felt like I was working with another adult who's my age, and she was just always so prepared, always on it. But I'm excited for everybody to see it because I think it's going to be a really beautiful movie to watch too.
Like visually, right? I already from the pictures, just the colors, I saw some of the gorgeous like dresses that you and your other, leading people, co-stars, what they are wearing. The one dress sort of was like creamy or yellow or something with beautiful butterflies all over it. Who did the costumes? Do you know?
Yes, oh my gosh, I'm of course
That's okay. We'll
blanking
look
with
it up.
names. Her name was Sarah, and I'm forgetting her last name right now. She was so lovely, and um, we our director Marita wanted like butterflies everywhere. Like if you look closely, you'll find like I had butterfly earrings in a
Earrings?
lot of things.
Oh.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, there was butterflies everywhere. So it was really cool to step outside of the normal what you wear on a normal
Right.
movie and get to have a theme to it. So that was fun.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to research it and find her because the clothing is gorgeous. People are already asking about the dress, this one dress in particular. So then I can post it up on Instagram. So tell me about your co-stars. So you talked a little bit about Alyssa. She has a wonderful Instagram account. If anybody's interested, I'll link that too. So I've been watching her on there, and she just talks with like such maturity but joy. Like she's really
Yes.
loving doing this, right? Yeah,
Yes, totally. Excuse me for a second. I'm just
sure.
got a tickle in my throat.
Do you want a drink? Do
Yes.
you want to go run and get a drink or no? You can.
Um,
We don't
yeah,
mind.
maybe
Go
I'll
get.
I'll grab my water bottle just a second.
Yes, go right ahead. So she's grabbing her water bottle. I have mine. Look, Hardee's. You know me. I always have this. This thing is huge. Like you can eat soup in it. If you haven't bought it, you have to check out the Edify account. They have it on there. They have it in pretty green too. And here's my favorite part because it's so large. It has a place where you can put your thumb and rest it. It's so cute. I
We're
think you have it.
hydrated.
Oh,
I
nice.
do.
Yeah.
I
I
do.
think,
I gave my mom has a pink one like that, and I
yeah.
have a black one over there.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so we have a
So,
list. She plays the daughter, not your daughter. She plays the daughter of your co-star, which is Kevin, right? And his name is Garrett. Is that what it is?
yes.
Do Are we allowed to know what what he does? Like what's his job in the
Yeah,
movie?
I mean, I'll leave it
Okay.
it's sort of unknown, which is part of the
Oh.
mystery.
Oh.
So yeah, I'll let people see the movie and you'll
Okay.
get to see that. But Alyssa, she was just like so professional beyond her years. She always knew her lines and she was so fun to work with. We had a really good time, the three of us.
Mm.
So I hope I get to work with her again one day. She's just so awesome.
I think she'll be we'll see her in more movies because from what I've been following, she looks like she's truly like she's got a good gift, like she's talented. Now,
She
how
has it.
about
Yeah.
the setting itself? So where was it filmed?
So we filmed in and around Ottawa
Oh,
in the summertime. So it was a very beautiful. We weren't in Ottawa. We were sort of outside of it on the outskirts. So in farm areas and this cute little small town called Almont, and it was just such a. I think it'll be a really beautiful, beautiful movie. Marita, our director, just has a way of like the colors that she uses
mhm.
in her shots. I just think it'll be a really pretty movie to watch. And there's some beautiful outdoor scenes that I think were some of my favorite to film too.
Oh. Now,
Yeah.
okay, so how do you even hear about this movie? Is it something you auditioned for? Is it something that went out and saw it? Like, tell us that if you can.
Yeah, Yeah, basically it worked out. Kevin was set to do it, and we were able to work it out that I was able to do it as well. So I
Okay.
Kevin had worked with Marita a couple times before, but it was my first time, and she was just so awesome. So I'm so happy that it worked out the way it did, because we met some really cool people on the
Now,
movie.
going in, did you know that it was going to be a Hallmark movie, or were they still shopping it around?
That one, I honestly I don't remember if it was decided when I took the job. I Because sometimes you hear this stuff and sometimes
Yeah.
it's not fully decided yet. But like we figured that it would be,
Okay.
because yeah, because Marita has done quite a few Hallmark
For
movies
them.
before. So yeah.
Well, this is nice. Is there a possibility of a sequel to it, or no? Is this like a one time? Or
I
you can't?
mean, anything's possible.
I know, right? Especially when there's such like fresh, different storylines. When in the movie, so it's monarch butterflies, correct?
Yes, yes.
And I don't know if people realize how close to being endangered they are. Like it's something like 90% of, well, about 5 years ago, we do lessons at school with the second grade on it. And about 5 years ago, it was like, especially where I am, I live in South Jersey and New Jersey in the US,
Mhm.
and 90% of the population had like disappeared, and has a lot to do with what it is that they need to survive, the milkweed. And
Yes.
I didn't realize, like, I can't, if the milkweed I grow here is not the milkweed that you would grow. We have to grow whatever is indigenous to our area in order for the butterfly to survive, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that part, that there's different
Yes.
types of milkweed. But
Yes.
okay.
Do you like, is there any like little scientific background when you're, being, your butter, what is the name of your occupation?
You know, we can call her Butterfly Lady. We can call her uh, Butterfly Birthday Party Woman. I there's a name for it. But she owns a butterfly sanctuary. We'll say
Okay, it's
that.
a sanctuary.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
is there, I bet you there is. Is there a backstory to it, like why the character wants to do this? Like why she wants to have a sanctuary for butterflies? Yes
There
or no?
is, and it's part of what you'll find out about her in the movie. So I'll leave that so you guys can get
I'm
excited about.
loving it. Okay, so we're like so excited. I had one more question that had to do with the movie. You have some lovely co-stars. I saw them on Instagram, and it looks like, are they another couple? Who are they in the storyline to your character? Is it like, is that who's getting married? You said from the famous wedding? Because I saw beautiful outfits. She had a gorgeous blouse on, I think.
Yes. So there is a couple of other characters.
Mhm. Supporting.
Emma, yes, yeah. Emily has a wonderful friend who's played by Ish, and he's awesome too. He's so much fun. And I also Emily has a I don't want to give too much
Don't,
away, but
don't.
I won't, because it's so much
It's
fun.
okay.
It's such an
Yeah.
awesome idea, and I
Yes.
can't wait for people to see the opening scene of the movie, because
Okay.
it 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 will show you who this other character is.
Okay.
Yeah, but great group of people. We had so much fun.
Right. I'm excited to get to know them as well. So it opens with this scene that we need to pay attention to, right?
Oh yeah, and it's hilarious too. It's so fun and out there, and it was really fun to film, and it was so cool too. Like, you'll see throughout the movie, working with real butterflies. Most of the time, the releases will be like way too extravagant, so I think they had to do some CGIing after, because
Okay.
it's just not, it's not I realistic to be able to have that many butterflies on set, but we did have like a butterfly wrangler, the same way on When Calls the Heart we have a horse wrangler where they were in charge of all the looking after all
No,
the butterflies. So yeah, it was cool. Like I'd never
that's
been
a
that
cool job.
close up with them. So
Yeah. I like that. That's a cool job.
yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm so excited for it. So I am sure there will be people having their premiere parties for you right before it comes on. Are you
That's
going to
right.
do a little premiere party of your own?
I think I will be traveling then but
Okay.
we can always set up our computer and
Mhm.
make it happen. I'll definitely be tweeting when
Yes.
it's out there. So yeah.
So I think the hashtag is just feeling butterflies, correct?
As of now, I believe so.
Yeah,
Yes.
and sometimes
Yes.
Hallmark will slip in, one at the last minute, but we'll see it on Twitter. So you'll
Yeah.
know that your fans will be out in force, like they cannot wait for this movie.
Oh,
You post it and everything. I know. I'm sorry.
I'm so happy that you're so excited. It makes me even more excited.
Good, we are. We're very excited. So we are going to talk a tiny bit about When Calls the Heart, and I wanted to just chat a little bit about season 8. And first, I have to say, when you first came to When Calls the Heart, I was like, yes, because I call you Spicy Fiona. And you had the best clothes, the best lines. And I was like, oh my goodness, I wanted you to stay. And you did, which was so good. Because remember, there was a part where you were going to have to give up your job and go. And then Carson has that lovely little chat with you. And then you wind up
Yeah.
staying. Nice. So when you first came on, I asked this question for everyone that I've interviewed. You're coming into a cast at that point that had been to, was it, did you come in season 5?
Season 6.
You came
Season
in season
6.
6?
Yeah, yeah.
No, you
Yeah,
came
the
in.
same time as Lucas and Nathan.
Okay, I for some reason I thought you came ahead of them. All right, so now you're there. Who is it that you're bonding with? Who's taking you under their wing and welcoming you? Because we do know that they do this. They're very welcoming.
Yes. I remember very specifically sort of feeling I mean, I made it up in my head. I was like, this is such a big group and they've been together for so long. I remember feeling a little like the new kid at school because
Hmm.
I kind of
Hmm.
was. Everybody was so welcoming. And I remember Erin Krako said, it was my first day and she introduced herself right away and she was so lovely. And she is always just so busy. She's running around because she has, so
Okay.
many scenes to
Yes.
get done. And I remember her saying, "Do you know where Crafty is?" And for people that don't know, Crafty is it's called craft services. It's the area that we can go to get snacks or, coffee
Hmm.
in between takes. And Erin said, "Do you know where Crafty is?" And I responded going, "Oh, it's right over there," like telling her where it was, but she was just being the mother hen
Yeah.
that she is,
Yeah.
making sure
Yeah.
that I knew. So I remember that I responded like I was telling her
Yeah.
where it
Yeah. Yeah.
is.
Aw.
Anyways, but everybody was so welcoming. And we've only grown closer as the years go on. It's a really tight group of people, which is so cool.
I know, I love it. I don't know if you could see this, but there's a chat. If you click it, there's a private chat, and that would be just between the two of us. But then there's something called comments, and people are just making their comments and questions. That's
Oh.
if you see my eye going to the side, that's all that it is. We address that later. Don't even, yeah. If
Oh,
my eyes
okay, I
don't, yeah,
see.
don't worry about it. That's because
Oh.
sometimes you're like, why is she looking off to the side? That's what it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there you are with your shorter skirt, hemline rather, your
Mhm.
gorgeous shoes. Did you ever see the girls? They're called Random Crafty Things. They're on Instagram. They're three young sisters and they do the most gorgeous artwork. Have you ever seen they did a drawing of your shoes? No?
No,
Oh,
no.
random crafty things. And I mean,
Okay.
when I say that they're very talented, they are. I had them on once, and they love Barbara. I had them when Barbara came on. At the
Yeah.
end, I was able to let them meet each other because they admire her, and they're very like, they sew and make these little hearts from your outfits. One of yours is done. Oh, you have
Oh
to
my
find them on
gosh.
Instagram. Yes.
Okay,
Follow
so
them.
cool.
I think Joe follows them, and I think maybe Paul Green does, but you'll like it because you're going to see a beautiful drawing of your shoes, and then you're probably going to want your little heart that has one of your little outfits on it.
That's
So
so cute.
your hair, your gorgeous hair, when you were in the first few seasons, do you wear wigs, or is that all you and they do you up?
My hair has gone on a journey on that show. The
It
first
has.
the first season, it was just my natural hair, and at the time I had my natural color, which is like a brown, and all the way like almost down to my belly button. So I had really long hair that they could work with, and they could create the
Yeah.
styles that they did. And our hair team is amazing, by the way. Has Jill and Shelly, who is not with us anymore. But Jody, and we just have the best hair team. But originally, season 6, they would use my hair and they'd pin it up and curl it. And
Beautiful.
then we introduced like a bit of a wig to add some
Mm-hmm.
volume.
Mm-hmm.
Season 7, season 7, and then we sort of did a mix of the two after that. So
It's the best. I love your hair. I love your outfits, your blouses, your skirt. I love your barber shop. I mean, I took a tour of the barber shop and was trying to find clues and of the different pictures if it was, San Francisco, anything that has to do with Fiona, because your background is a bit of mystery, like we don't really know that much. This season we did get, when you were having your little conversations, your little girl talks in the shop, we did find
yeah.
out a little bit about your fiance and that kind of thing, but we haven't met anyone from your family or anything. So I was like digging for clues. That's how I am. There's a funny scene where you're on the phone and you have like your modern terms, and you say to Pascal, Rosie, you tell her she's a dilly, right? Like some of the lines that you had to learn. And I'll do like a recipe that goes with different things. So I said, is Fiona in a pickle? Because, you're going to get into a little trouble, I think, coming up. This is just me saying this. But then I did like a pickle recipe and have your little picture, and the dilly quote is in there. And you
So
have
good.
like these modern sayings. Everything about you is like forward thinking. And I was wondering, if you were born like in that time, Kayla, do you think you
Hmm.
would be so forward thinking, or will you be a little more traditional, like, Erin's character? What do you think?
I think I would definitely be Fiona. Like I
Yeah.
would push the boundaries and question things. I From a young age, I've always been like, well, I would, I would challenge my parents, a little tiny kid from a young age. So I think I would be somewhat like Fiona if I
Yeah.
was in 1918.
I'm not surprised. I feel like it's a really easy and like natural role for you to be. Like when any interviews or conversations I've heard you have, I'm like, oh, you are a little bit like Fiona, which is a good thing. It's not a negative thing. It's a good thing. I love you with Ben. The two of you on screen are hilarious. I can't imagine what it's like behind the scenes. Do you have like a favorite scene from season 8 or 7 or 6?
You know, the scene one of my favorite memories of filming with Ben is it's always so much fun. I love their dynamic because they're
Yeah.
just opposite ends of the
Mhm.
spectrum, and it creates some really fun moments. But one of my favorite scenes that I filmed with Ben, maybe I just felt so bad. I got the giggles, and it was the scene where we're dancing together. I think it's at
Uh-huh.
the end of season was that season 7? Oh gosh. Do you know the one where we're dancing
I
together
do.
and then I spin him at the end?
Yes. Yes.
So, and he added that, by the way. He added the line that that said, I've never done this before, which was just so funny.
I
But
know.
I felt so terrible because I got the giggles, which doesn't happen to me that often, but it happened to me after we already got my coverage. So we're like spinning around and it's his coverage. So the camera's trying to get him on all his lines, and I'm laughing throughout the whole thing. And I managed to hold it together when I spun around and the camera was on me, but I was losing it, and he somehow kept it together, but I was apologizing afterwards because I was like, "I'm so sorry. I couldn't get it together."
I love it. There's a cute scene that was cut where he has to go give blood, and he sort of like feels like he's going to pass out, and he's falling into everyone's arms, and he's like, Fiona, and he's thinking it's you, but it's not you. Have you seen that cut scene? Oh, did you hear me?
I know the one that you're talking about.
Mhm.
I heard you. Yeah, yeah, it cut out for a bit,
Yeah.
but can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Um, I know the one that you're talking about. I've never actually seen it, but I
Uh,
just remember everybody else who was there, like,
mhm.
talking about it because I don't think I was on set that day, but,
When Yeah,
that was very funny.
it's more with like Joe, and then when she was on, she said that that was one of her favorite scenes. She told us ahead of time before we had the opportunity to see it cut out. Now, Nate, I had Nate on Pelche, and he was talking about how he has to give lessons sometimes more than once to people on how to
Yes.
drive the vehicles. But you, he said, you were like a natural, and it was very
Yes.
easy, he said, to train you. Or to help you or guide you. He loved it. He said you were good.
Oh, good, because that
Is
was my first time driving a manual shift, like a stick shift.
Yes.
I hadn't tried in a car that my sister had a manual car, but I always had an automatic. But he was a great teacher, and he took me out a couple times, probably 3 or 4 times before that scene that I actually had to drive, and yeah, it was so much fun. I felt like I was driving a big go-kart.
And then you had that little, I don't know, motorcycle, mopedy type thing that you rode too. But you
Yes.
didn't, right? I think he said they used a stunt person. Why?
Yeah. I know. I was really hoping that I was gonna be
Mhm.
able to, but I think it's just too dangerous.
Yeah. I hear you.
Especially having, Ben just holding on to
Holding
me
on,
for
right. And it's
so,
not
yeah.
like it's a paved road. That's a real dirt road you're on.
Oh, yeah, if you turn one corner too fast, then you're sliding for sure. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was for the best that I didn't, you know, but it looks like I did, which was the magic of movies.
Now, in real life, do you ride? Do you ride a motorcycle or a bike of some sort?
I have a cycling bike. I have ridden on the back of a motorcycle a
Okay.
couple times, but I have never, and I don't think I'll ever get my my license.
I hear you. I hear you. But
Yeah.
that's kind of exciting and fun. All
Yeah.
right. So we're going to be sliding in very soon to season 9. And I know you can't really tell us anything, but whatever you can, like whatever about Fiona's journey you could spill for us, which we
Okay.
know is not much, and it's okay.
Yeah. So you will get to see a business journey of Fiona this year. I'll say
All
that.
right.
Lots of new opportunities and and she her she's usually the one, who's pushing the
Yes.
buttons and stuff,
Yes.
and she gets challenged quite a bit this season. So
Oh.
I'm excited for people to see that journey, and yeah, you'll get to see Fiona in a different setting
I
for
like
a
it.
for a little bit of the season.
Okay, I'm liking that. Now, one of the things that I wanted to like mention to you. It's not that I wanted to ask you a question. I have to tell you that one of my favorite scenes is between you and Florence. Well, Kayla and Loretta as Florence and Fiona. When you do that gift exchange, like you make something for each other, and you know what I mean,
Yeah,
right?
I do.
That one is it's so good. It's like
Oh,
so cute, and I love that you two bonded as characters on the story because I mean, you as a friend, you know what I mean? You had this different
yeah.
kind of friendship. And I was like, that's really sweet. And especially because it was the opportunity to see the softer side of Florence's character because often we see her as being, not spicy, but bratty kind of. And we got to see like, a softer side. And I thought this is nice. It's nice as for viewers because it's two different like generations there
Hmm.
coming together and perspective wise. So, and you two did a good job with it. So I always like rewind. I've watched many times. Okay. So I always rewind that scene because it's one of my favorites. I love it. It's a Christmas,
Aw,
right? Christmas one you exchange little gifts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. Those are some of
Sure.
my favorite scenes I've filmed on When Calls the Heart are
Yeah.
scenes with Loretta because there's something about, you know, two there's two women coming together
Mhm.
from total different worlds
Yes.
and and you get to see a vulnerability in both of them that you don't always get to see. And they I just working with Loretta too is always such a treat. She is just such a beautiful person and actress, and we would when we'd be running our lines before that scene, the one with the gift exchange, and
Mhm.
then also um the one where she runs out because she thinks she's messed up the switchboard, and
Yes,
then
yes.
she opens up to me and says, I've never had a job before.
Yeah,
We both, for both of those scenes, when we were running lines and rehearsing, we were getting emotional,
I
and it
know.
was like a this we were like, what is happening? Like, we're just running these lines, but there's something that we can't even put into words about those two characters. That's just so special, and I'm happy that people love those
Yeah.
scenes.
We do. We could feel it. You like clicked. It's almost like when people tell me about when they're on stage and it's in a theater and like you get emotional or you feel how the audience is. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And then you have to feed off of your act, whoever's acting with you. So
Mhm.
I love it. And you got into your parts. That's what makes it so wonderful and delicious for us who's watching. Good job. All right. So we have all kinds of crazy comments and questions. So if you want to like
Okay.
go through and that,
Okay. Okay. Hold on here.
thank you for
In
spending
chat?
your evening with us.
Oh, of course. I'm
Yeah,
happy to. Okay,
we
let's see.
we have. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you go through if you want. I can help if you
Yeah.
need me to.
Oh, I love all the Flo and Fiona.
Yeah.
Does Kayla love soda as much as Fiona? That's so funny. Fiona did have quite the soda obsession
You did. Orange.
in in the first season in particular, but I you know, if I'm in the mood for it, absolutely. At the movie theater, every single time, always. Let's see. One of my favorite scenes was the emotion she showed in conversation with Carson and her determination. Oh, yeah, that was a great scene too.
It was.
I loved that she wasn't gonna let that stop her. That's one of my favorite character traits about her is how strong she is. Let's see. During the filming season, how many days on set do you film? I have a pretty it kind of varies. Sometimes I'm there like twice a week or three times a week, and sometimes I'll get a little break because they'll be filming in areas that or scenes that I'm not in. So it
Yeah.
really depends. It's not consistent at all, which is why this career is so exciting. Um, okay.
There's a lot of love. I love
There is a
Fiona.
lot of love. Thanks, guys, for all the love. I hope she gets a love interest. Okay. Well, I guess we'll
Ooh,
just have to wait and
you'll
see.
have to wait. Please, I can pair you up with many people, your character. I'm like, "Wait a minute, she would go here, that would be great, and she would go here, and that would be great." I loved when you were first, like, had a little bit of a love interest with, Kevin. Actually, the actor, I had him on. He had a really nice he had 2 new movies out, and, he came on and we talked about him. He's lovely. What a lovely guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Clayton is lovely. We ran into him over Christmas time, I think, or just
Oh,
before
nice.
Christmas, because he's back and forth. He's, I think, in Los Angeles and filming
Mhm.
and stuff, but he was so great. And yeah, we did have a really great storyline. Lots of, I mean, so many wonderful characters on When Calls the Heart. That's the show's like the best thing about it, and also like the saddest thing because you just want all the time in the world to watch all these storylines
I know. I
play
know.
out, but we only have an hour an episode, right? So
They're asking questions, silly questions that we are not going to answer. No, you know by now, people. Someone was asking this question, and I think you probably could answer it. I think it had something to do with if Fiona's got all these business opportunities, who's going to be helping you in the barber shop? Do you get help in the barber shop? Yes or no?
so I'll say that you don't we don't have to say goodbye to Fiona in the barbershop,
Okay.
at the beginning of the season, don't you worry. But, as previous sort of seasons when my character would go away, I mean, it's Hope Valley with the aspect of community is always there, so people are helping out all the time, I think. Um, Eva took over and there's so people are always helping out
Yes.
when a character is elsewhere. So,
Yes. It's true.
yeah.
Even in the
Yeah,
cafe, they help out too. Even
totally.
when Elizabeth has to go away, people cover for her as a teacher. I'll never forget when she first came back and, Florence was covering. She ran and hugged her and said, "Oh, thank God you're back."
Yeah.
Carson, he got to teach for the day when she was out in the forest. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
I wanna teach. Fiona would like,
yes.
she should do, like, a hair tutorial for these kids.
Yeah. You can. That's a good idea. Pitch it, pitch it. Do you ever get to actually ask, I mean, or say like, "Oh, I would like, for Fiona to do this, this, and this." Do you ever ask or no?
So our showrunner, John Tinker, is
Mhm.
so open. He's always open to, he's like, any thought we have, idea, concern, anything. He's always open for a quick email or text or phone call or whatever. So, and we we don't write the show, so but we've definitely um talked about some ideas, and sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't happen.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's always open to listen, which is really nice. And his first year on the show, he was very he was very much getting to know each of us one on one. So he really took the time to talk to us about our characters because he was joining on a show that had been around for 7
Yes.
seasons, so
Yes.
he really took our input and our
Mhm.
thoughts, and which was really cool, I thought.
Yeah. Now, when you and Ben are running lines or in a scene, do you talk to each other like how you want to approach something or how you're going to, what you're like going to do, like your own little spin or take on it or no?
Yeah, Ben and I actually we talk about all of our scenes before we do before we get, actually on set and roll. Um we'll make sure that we're on the same page about everything, and I really enjoy working with Ben. We have a really fun time, and there's always something to laugh about, which I got to control the giggling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Aw, aw. Okay, so I think we more or less. Oh, there was a cool question about. I think Kevin he did an interview recently, and in the interview he said that he was talking about his three leading ladies. This is him giving his little spoilers, and he was saying something about the mustache, and he said, "Well, I had a mustache, and then there's a barber in Hope Valley, and I had to go and have my mustache shaved." So I know. Was it real? It was really a mustache at some point,
Oh
wasn't it?
yeah.
So
It was not a fake mustache. Let's just get that out there. But yeah, well, I mean, as far as storyline goes, we'll call it the mustache mystery, and we'll have to
okay.
wait to see what happens. But that was a real mustache.
All
It
right.
was.
And speaking of that, not just to make this about me, but I'm laughing because I will make a recipe out of anything and then I show clips. So I did something about Nathan's mustache. I made mustacholi, which is, Italian, and it's the little pastas, and it had like all this, had a sausage in it and spinach and stuff. It came out nice, and there's a picture of him with his big mustache. I can't.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
I know. It's hilarious. When I first saw it, I was dying. And then he brought it up in the interview and he's like, it gets shaved off. I know you're not really cutting hair, but it must be hard to act like you are to make it look realistic.
So
Yes?
the scissors are for the most part dulled for
Okay.
safety. For safety when because
Okay.
I'm so close to and to
An ear.
actors' faces or ears. Gosh. Um but one time, I think I mentioned this in another interview. It's the scene that I'm trimming Lucas's beard,
Uh-huh. Oh.
and I remember in like the third take I got one hair. Like I accidentally cut one of his hairs, and I remember going, did he notice? I don't know if he did. I don't know if we've ever like discussed like, hey, did you feel that? Because it was just one little hair that I accidentally actually cut.
Oh my
But
gosh.
they are real scissors. They are dull, but if you, I guess, cut in a certain way, then
Yes.
it can
Oh.
cut hair. So
My gosh. That makes for great like behind the scenes nonsense.
yeah, I
Oh,
would
I'm
have been in
sorry.
trouble by the hair team if I did more than one hair.
I'm so sorry. I think, one side is like, the other. Oh gosh. Kate is here. He made you some socks.
Ah, hi, Cade. Yeah, yes, I have those socks, and they're so cool. I've seen all the cast members, um, and the different creations that you come up with. So cool, so creative.
He is adorable. I love you, Cade. You know I do. And he is like so stinking creative and the best one-liners. We should get him like a part, like a walk-on or something in When Calls the Heart. Like he has to show up in some way. I'll put that out there in the universe for you, Cade.
Love it, love it.
I can post certain questions up, and I like this. This is important as we're getting ready to close. When will Feeling Butterflies air? I know it's different sometimes for Canada as it is here in the United States. Go ahead.
Yes. I believe March 12th is the date all
Yes.
around. And timing, I'll post something on my Instagram about that because it's always confusing with the Eastern and the Pacific and the timing and stuff like that. But I'll find that out and I'll make a post about it. But March 12th is the date.
Yes, and it's part of the Spring into Love, which is all the March movies. And it does have like it's a summer feel, right? Because you filmed in the summer, it's a summery kind of feel of the movie, correct?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
totally a summer movie. So it'll get everybody excited for
It will.
are you in warm weather right now or are you in cold weather?
Me in Jersey? Oh,
Yeah.
we had a warm day, but it is
Uh,
cold weather for us, and we're expecting some more snow. Yeah, yeah. So we have
yeah.
cold weather, but not cold like Canada. No, no, no. Like it was like 20 some degrees this morning. And well, wait a minute. I have degrees and you don't have degrees, right? So
Yeah. I have grown
okay,
to know
you get
both.
it.
So
All right.
yeah, I get it.
And but my students actually got to go outside and have a good time because it was like 55. But we're
Okay.
expecting snow in a few days. So it's cold here. But I know it's not like as cold as there, but it's cold for us. We're gonna love it. And actually, what kicks off Spring into Love is the premiere of When Calls the Heart on the 6th.
Yes, that's
At
coming up.
8 o'clock for us. Oh my gosh, we're all so excited. We're having a premiere party. And
Yes. Oh,
yes,
that's great.
we're gonna have a good time. We cannot wait. And I think that that is it with the comments that we would be taking. And they're just back and forth talking to each other, as you can see. I really have enjoyed getting to know you. I hope you come back, share more with
Me
us.
too.
Yes,
Me
like
too.
as the season moves on so Sunday nights I'll be watching. I watch live. I have to watch. Then on Mondays I have I have someone who comes on and we analyze and talk and chat. So on Mondays we're going to talk about this, the episode. And different people are going to pop in and chat with us. So we're all set and prepped and so excited. Oh my gosh, we can't wait. And I'm
That
excited for your movie. And I mean, I don't I'm sure there's going to be chemistry, don't you think?
I hope so. I
I
really
hope
hope
so.
so.
Come on. And it must have been like the easiest thing for you to do. Do you know what I mean? Like how much acting was there really involved in being in love, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it was really fun to be able to work with somebody who you know so well and then
Mhm.
have to all of a sudden you're in a scene where you don't know them and like you haven't met them yet. So
Right,
it
right.
was fun to it was really cool.
Like how that you would play that out. So we're gonna see some really good acting then. I know it. I know we are.
That I hope so. I hope that's what everybody thinks.
We're going to. I'm telling you, I know we will. All right, so we're gonna say goodnight, and then we'll say goodnight in the studio. All right, everyone, thank you for tuning in. It has been lovely here with you, Kayla. If you want to say goodnight,
Yeah, thanks for hanging out so late over there too.
it's all right.
I at this hour, I'm usually prepping my tea and getting
Mhm.
all cozy. So yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks everybody in the chat for engaging. And I hope that everybody enjoys our premieres.
Oh, we are. We are. All right. Good night, everyone. I'll see you
Good night.
later. All right, I'm gonna end.